I'm gonna teach you 3 simple tips and tricks that'll help you finish any task in any allotment of time that you want to finish it in. They're a little bit hard to get the hang of, but once you get the hang of them, you'll skyrocket to new heights of efficiency. You'll never be slow at working again. So let's hop right into it. Hey Falcon Force, welcome back to the nest. Now the thing that might have made you click on this video is the title literally says, why quality over quantity fails. I will talk about that in a second, but let me teach you these 3 principles first that will help you understand why quantity over quality is better than quality over quantity in the beginning stages of YouTube. The first principle that I want to teach you guys is something called Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law is the observation that the duration of public administration, bureaucracy, and officialdom expands to its allotted time span, regardless of the amount of work to be done. So what exactly does this mean for YouTube? Well, essentially, it's saying that any task that you choose to be done will get done in that allotment of time that you give it, which means you need to make a schedule. Yes, I know, a schedule. How daunting. And how, wow, I already have a schedule. Well, let me ask you something. Are you actually adhering to the schedule that you make? Do you have specific allotments of time that you have done for each task, or do you just have it in your schedule, I need to focus on YouTube during this time? You need to make a content schedule that is laid out and actually has each and every part of your YouTube plan in your schedule so you can finish things by the time that you actually want it to get done by. Parkinson's principle is literally saying that if you plan something and have a deadline for that task and you need it to be done by that time, it will be done by that time. That's just how it works. So you need to make that principle work for you. Make a schedule, make a deadline, and post it up by that time. As a matter of fact, I encourage you that if you're one of those people that spends so much time editing because you want that video to be perfect, make that content schedule, adhere to it, and give yourself the consequence of having to post that video, even if it's not done, if you don't reach that time signature. And then I guarantee that you will focus and actually finish that video by time. But it must be hand in hand with this other principle in order for it to work properly, which is called the Pareto Principle. The Pareto Principle states that for many outcomes, roughly 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. The Pareto Principle, or the vital few, or the 80-20 rule, it goes by a lot of different names, basically states that 20% of the things that you do result in 80% of the outcomes. What does this mean? How does that apply to YouTube? Well, essentially, if you focus on that 20% of work that you're doing in order to get that 80% of the outcome, let's say the outcome that you want is getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, well, only 20% of the work that you're doing is going to get you 80% of the result, which means you can get 800, you'll probably end up getting 800 subscribers from just a couple of videos that you post rather than like all the other videos that you post, like the other 80% of videos that you post. This is why you'll see a couple videos on other people's channels that just blow up and are amazing, but other videos are just, minimal. So how does this actually take effect? Well, you have to use Parkinson's law and actually create yourself a schedule. You use Parkinson's law in order to adhere yourself and guide yourself across a schedule with deadlines. You use the 80-20 rule to put 20% of the effort on the things that actually matter rather than that other 80% of things that don't matter too much. You could focus on that afterwards. Once you focus on that 20%, then you can focus on the other percent. And then perfectionism goes hand in hand with that too. You need to stop focusing on perfectionism and actually get that point across. Which leads me to my last and final thing. Quality over quantity does not work for the beginning YouTuber. I know you've probably seen a bunch of YouTubers who actually post one video and get that done, and that's great. There are a bunch of YouTubers who post one video, they get 100,000 views, they get 1 million views on that video, and yes, it is possible to get successful from just your first video on YouTube. But the other 90% of content creators who start YouTube do not get that, and that's because they've either done zero research or that's not their type of niche or content that they're doing in order to be able to post that type of stuff. I'm not saying you can't do it that way. However, I am saying most content creators will benefit more from quantity over quality rather than quality over quantity. Mr. Beast stated this. He stated that in the beginning stages of YouTube, you need to focus on posting your first 100 videos, improving something on the video each time. So every video that you post has an improvement. And then you just keep on posting consistently at the same time so your viewers know when to expect you and YouTube knows when to expect you. When you're focusing on consistency, YouTube knows when to share out your video, and as long as you're following these other guidelines and tips, not the guidelines that I just talked about in this video, but as long as you're following other guidelines of how YouTube works and actually posting content that YouTube likes to see, if you're being consistent, YouTube will share it out. It's just how it is, which is why quantity is over quality rather than quality being over quantity. So let's focus on, rather than trying to be perfect and make each video get there, let's make it to the spec. As a matter of fact, a guy named Seth Godin says this. Seth Godin, more like Seth Goatin. Get it? Because, like, you know, greatest of all time, you know. Okay, some of you guys don't care. The wrong question is it perfect? The right question might be, does it meet the spec? That's what you need to ask yourself when you're posting and editing videos and recording. Does it meet the spec? Stop focusing on perfectionism and focus on actually getting that video out there. When you focus on perfectionism, the 3 things that normally happen to the people is that they never post the video, they spend too much time worrying about whether it's perfect or not, or whether people are gonna watch it, and on top of that, it just gives them needless stress. Those are the 3 things that happen to people who focus on perfectionism. They're always stressed out, they never get their tasks done, and at that point, it doesn't even matter because you're not doing the work that you should be doing originally. Meet the spec instead of trying to meet perfectionism, because you'll never get there. Let's review. Parkinson's principle, the principle that states anything can get done in an allotted amount of time, whatever the task may be, no matter how much work needs to get done. The 80-20 rule, 80% of consequences are produced by 20% of input, which means that 80% of the things that you get are produced by 20% of the things that you do. Whatever you reap, you will sow. And the last thing, but not least thing, is perfectionism. It's an impossible goal to strive for. You can never be perfect. I'm not saying to not strive for perfectionism. I'm just simply saying that you don't need to make everything on YouTube that you're doing perfect. Thank you, Falcon Force, for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like and consider sharing out this video to a friend or family member that's trying to start YouTube. Make sure to stay strong, fly on, and let's take flight to new heights. See you guys in the next one. I wanted to take the chance to show you guys my content schedule as well. It's a little messed up right now because I had a lot of failures this morning. So, like when I was recording like the video that I'm recording right now, the first recording, the audio actually got very messed up, so I couldn't use the first recording. I had to record it again. So I'm actually supposed to be done editing the video right now, but there was some problems this morning. So I'll either finish it tonight or I'll finish it at some point. But, you know, sometimes there's just some things you can't predict. And that's all right. That's okay, because the task will still get finished before I want to post it. Nonetheless, this is my content schedule. I have everything scheduled in of when it needs to get done. Everything on these days, whoopsie daisy, get that out of here. Everything on these days actually got completed in the allotment of time. Like this video's done, this video's done, the recording for these videos done, the scripting for this video's done. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to edit it right after I'm done with this. And I already got part of the editing done for this video because I was able to shortcut some of the stuff that I was able to do. And so that got done. Yeah, everything is already done that's here. Like the thumbnails, the stream prep, these streams that are here, the recording, all this other stuff. All that kind of stuff is all done, okay? And I only just recently made my content schedule, but after making my content schedule, my efficiency has skyrocketed through the roof. So make sure to go check it out and go do this. This is so important, guys. Anyways, that's it. All right, peace out.